Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm going to show you guys how to create a proposal in this video. So what you're going to want to do is go to Documents, um, create a proposal, and what a proposal is it's basically a combination of an invoice and a contract or service agreement. It's basically kind of like, what you are sending to them sort of as like the final thing before you get booked, right? You want to get under contract and you want to send an invoice for them to actually pay. Um, in in TalleFlow, you can do a lot with designing proposals. You can really customize it. You can even add your own design of, like, maybe what you're offering in sort of an elegant way. So I'll show you how to do that. At least how to actually get the proposal configured. So what you're going to want to do is go to Documents, create document, and then click on Proposal. And then what you'll want to do is create a document file. There's already a video out about the difference between document template and document file. The file that you create is sort of the thing that's actually sent to your client. So you create a file, attach it to the project of the client that you're working with, and then you hit. You can either choose from a template or start from blank. I'm going to choose start from blank. Here's where you can start sort of creating your proposal. The two tools that I want you to look at are the invoice tool and the e-signature tool. These will allow you to configure this document to basically include a e-signature action by your client, and also the invoice is where you can actually give the information on like what you're charging. Maybe you can import your packages through this invoice tool. There's another video on like how to use the invoice tool, and it goes into detail on it. But for now, just for the sake of this video, just know that you have to use these two tools. So I'm going to go ahead and configure this document. What I'm going to do is I'm going to basically design sort of like a guided, slideshow type thing, almost like a brochure of like what I'm going to offer them. And if you don't know what brochures are, there is another video that talks about how to create a brochure. But and then I'm going to include the invoice, and then I'm going to include an invoice, and then I'm going to include the actual like service agreement right after it. And the way you do this too is like you can use all these content blocks. For example, for a service agreement, I might start with the heading, add a paragraph, and start writing out my service agreement. Or if you have one that you already use, you can just literally copy and paste it, and it'll in this sort of format. But I'm going to go ahead and create it, and then I'll show you what it looks like after. So I've created my proposal. I basically started with just kind of like some headings, some images, just kind of like a walkthrough of like what I'm providing, and just sort of like professional sort of design here to just showcase that just basically showcase what we're providing. And then right after that, I've included the invoice with the invoice tool, as I talked about. So I dragged over the invoice tool right here. And then I have the service agreement right here. And then I have an e-signature tool right here, which allows me to basically collect the signature and for the client to agree that they've agreed to this service agreement right here that I've added. And for the service agreement, as I mentioned, you're just using sort of like text and paragraph blocks and formatting it however you'd like. Here, however, I will add basically merge tags, and the way that you do that, there's another video on how to do that, but I've just added like placeholders here for now. But you can go ahead and click the sort of like curly bracket, and then you can replace all of these with the actual merge tags the smart tags that we have. So business owner name is the provider, client name, and then I'll just add the client's client dot first name, or probably full name. Right. And then I can just go ahead and replace all of these with the proper smart tag tokens. Once I'm ready, and then you can click the preview to kind of see what the client will see. They'll see the invoice, and there'll be a pay now button, and then they'll be able to sign right after. So and now that I've gone ahead and clicked send to contact, I can choose the contact or client that I'm sending it to and click share document. they'll get an email and basically a link to the document for them to view your proposal, be able to sign and then pay, and you are booked. Awesome. So it was shared. Um, we're all good here now. And yeah, that's how you create a proposal. Thanks for watching.